All right, I better get some phone calls here. It's halfway through the program. We haven't been there, so it's time to go. And we're going to start in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Gary, I appreciate you waiting, and welcome. Great to have you here.
Great to talk to you, Rush. I have a quick question. You there?
Yeah.
I have a theory that the reason we open communications with Cuba is and he's getting rid of all the terrorists from Gitmo, is he wants to close that base down and give it back to Cuba and say that we took it from him, and he makes everybody happy on the left.
You think that's all there is to this, is just giving Cuba Gitmo back?
Hey, there's more to it than that, but that's my theory. That's how he operates. He can close down Gitmo, be the big hero, and give it to Cuba, and everybody's happy on the left.
Let me think about it. So you think, I just want to make sure I understand here before I comment, the main reason he wants to normalize relations with Cuba is to ultimately close Gitmo. That's the fastest, best way you can close Gitmo, is to normalize relations with Cuba and then give them the prison, the area, the territory back, and receive accolades from the left for finally closing it down.
That's what I say, yes. That's my theory.
Okay. Well, so I think he could close Gitmo without reopening channels to Cuba. I think he could shut it down if he wanted to. He could have shut it down anytime he wanted. Now, he's run into real-world circumstances which make it hard to do, but the people in there are not Dick and Jane. The people in there are hardened SOBs. And the people in their home countries often don't want them back. There's nowhere to put them. Nobody wants them. If you're going to close them, if you're going to let them out of jail, if you're going to release them, you release them to allied nations, and if they don't want them, then there's not much you can do other than give them back to Al-Qaeda. Well, that would pose all kinds of PR problems, which are major problems to Democrats. Public relations and image is a much more important thing to them than substance is. So I think he wanted to close Gitmo day one and found out the problems involved. But I think normalizing relations with Cuba, normalizing relationships with a dictatorship, is about much more than just Guantanamo Bay. He could close it down. He could use the base closure procedure. He could use any number of things. I mean, if the Constitution doesn't matter, and if none of the other behavioral or policy protocols matter, there's nothing to stop him from just closing it. Whether we normalize relationships with Cuba or not. I think the normalization of relationship with Cuba fits perfectly in the theme that Obama believes much of American history is flawed and mistaken and unwarranted. And I think he believes the Cuban embargo was something that never should have happened. I think he's part of the crowd that believes it is one of the primary reasons that Cuban people are suffering. The people Obama sidles up to around the world are authoritarians. You're surprised that none of the Democrats are a little bit upset at this? You mean the normalization? Because this is sort of mocking JFK's mom. Well, I don't know how much of a hero JFK is to these people anymore. I mean, in reality, he's an election time hero. Good hero for pictures and speeches and stories at a convention. But in terms of JFK policy and what he did, Obama's not going to cite JFK as a role model. JFK, if he were intellectually honest and still alive today, he wouldn't have a home in today's Democrat Party. But I think the normalization of relations with Cuba is about much more than Guantanamo anyway. But clearly, I don't doubt that Obama would love to get rid of Guantanamo Bay as a U.S. installation. I don't doubt that at all. I just don't think he has to normalize relationship with Cuba to do it.